Good evening and welcome to Bahrain International's daily show. We have a lot to cover in today's episode of Bahrain Today. But before I tell you what we bring you today, I would like to invite you all to tell us your suggestions and opinions of our show through contacting us via email or Instagram shown on the screen. In today's episode, we will highlight first Bahraini solar panel factory, Bahrain's fintech, and we will conclude with a yummy vegan treat. All this and more on Bahrain Today. Stay tuned. Solar One is Bahrain's first solar panel manufacturing facility. Its vision is to lead the way in the renewable energy industry in the Middle East and help steer the region towards meeting and exceeding its climate goals. Let's watch this report for more. With us here in the studio, winner of Startup of the Year category at the Bahrain Award of Entrepreneurship and founder of Solar One, Mr. Faisal Khalifa. How are you doing, sir?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, I was looking forward for this episode. I was so excited to meet you. Me myself, I'm trying to be environmental friendly.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Definitely a great thing, yeah. And here you are, renewable energy. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
it's
thanks
an
for
honor
having me.
meeting
It's great
you.
to be here.
I didn't imagine that you'd be so young, and thank you again. Sir, I wanted to tell you, so can you tell us how you got into this industry?
Yeah, so I studied environmental sciences in university in Toronto, and one of the courses that we took was on energy economics and renewable energy, and it was really interesting to me. So on the side, I would take courses in solar system installation, and I thought, I found that I was very passionate about it in university, and when I came back to Bahrain, it was like the perfect storm because electricity prices in the country were going up, and yeah.
Thank you.
You know.
Yeah. We know.
So electricity prices were going up here, and the general cost of solar was going down. So I thought, why not try to bring it into Bahrain?
Right.
You know, at first we wanted to go into trading and contracting, importing the panels from around the world.
But why not make him here, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
There
we
you
had
go.
the land, we had the resources. We said,
Amazing.
if we can make them within a decent, within a decent margin away from the Chinese products, then we could be competitive because people love to buy local,
Right, of course. And how do you see the response of the Bahrainis here?
It's been great. Before we even started production, our phones would not stop ringing.
Mashallah.
Because we went out into the Gulf Industry Fair in 2015.
Right.
And in 2016. And the response was amazing. And at that point, we still had not done anything. People were calling us, asking for quotes, asking for site visits. And I said, I have nothing to give you yet, but we're coming. So it's been great. One of the biggest challenges has just been, I'd just say like the general education on the topic. So people are turned away sometimes or put off by the initial cost of a system and the long-term returns. But it's just about showing people that, you know, you're investing in something that's going to be providing value for you for 20 years.
Right.
And something that's going to pay for itself within 7 years. So once people are clear on that, then it just becomes way more straightforward.
Now that you're a well-established factory, how do you aim to further develop your work?
So we want to diversify our product range. Right now we produce 300 watt panels.
300 watt.
And in the coming months we're introducing 310 and 370 watts.
Is that significantly different? Because I can't
Yeah,
tell the
so
difference between 300
basically
and
that just means higher efficiency. You're producing more power using the same surface area.
Right.
So you're,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. So
makes sense.
5 panels producing 1,500 watts will produce
2,000
just about over 2,000 watts.
Right.
So, I mean,
that's impressive.
It's a no-brainer, really. We just want to produce higher output panels and then also introduce more integrated solutions like street lights, floodlights, ACs, water heaters, all solar powered, all made in Bahrain.
Wow. And how, like, your after service to maintain those solar panels?
It's very low maintenance. All
Low
you need to do,
maintenance,
yeah, all you need to do is make sure that they stay clean. Okay, and all that takes is a cloth and some water.
That's good.
Obviously waterproof.
Yeah.
From the systems that we've installed now, we have over 500 kilowatts installed in the country, which is about half a megawatt. We have no problems with the after sales.
Okay.
People are.
How much is 1 megawatt? 1 mega.
1 megawatt is about
1 megawatt. Like,
1,000
what is it? Like, can I one full building? How many watts would it mean?
Well, see, that depends because you're limited by the space you have on the building, and the fact that we use a lot of electricity in Bahrain for our ACs. You know, every house has the big central AC and then multiple split units.
Yeah.
So it really just comes down to how much space you have, and then your own consumption. So we have about 90 panels installed on our house, and that's covering anywhere between 40 to 50% of our consumption.
So how many watts in your house?
So that's 90 times 300 watts.
Okay. All right. And so you don't use the ACs. Your ACs are not working on the solar energy, are they?
No. So the way it works is the solar just complements the national energy grid.
Okay.
So whatever we can take from the solar panels is going directly towards the electricity mix in the house, and then anything else comes from the grid.
Amazing. And how can homes and offices benefit from your solar panels?
So IWA, the Ministry of Electricity, introduced net metering last year, and what this basically means is on any solar system, on a house, office, wherever it is, any excess energy that you generate, you can actually sell back to the grid. They'll buy it from you at a 1-to-1 rate. So right now electricity costs 29 fils per unit. Okay, so whatever electricity you're not using from the solar goes back into the grid, and it comes as a credit on your bill for the next month. So no matter what the situation is, if people are using the appliances at home or not, you're gonna still be getting the benefits because you're either saving electricity or selling it back and getting the credit, and the payback period remains the same.
Amazing, right. And how does international and national corporation cooperate with you? I mean, in terms of accreditation of your product?
Oh yeah, so our products are IEC certified, which is the basically the central commission for all electrical items. Okay, they have categories for everything from street lights to solar panels to calculators, computers.
Right.
So we send our products to their lab in Cologne in Germany, and they go through a 6-month rigorous testing process, and then they certify them for their design, their output, and their safety.
How do you cooperate with local institutions in raising awareness?
So right now we're working with Tamkeen on creating schemes to fund systems for warehouses and commercial spaces.
Right.
They've been very supportive.
Very
We
good.
just actually completed commissioning on a project that was done through Tamkeen. And we do work with some ministries.
Okay.
We provided a prototype for the Ministry of Transportation for their bus shelters, where we were powering their advertising boards and their spotlights. And we are supplying our panels for the new parliament building that's coming up in Manama.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Any short-term plans coming up? Any events you guys are doing?
We're hosting an event at the end of the month. I can't talk too much about it right now.
Okay.
Until all the details are finalized.
Would you like to add anything before we conclude?
Yeah, first of all, we're very thankful to the reception that we've gotten in the country has been amazing. We're so thankful for it.
We're so thankful for you.
No, I'm thankful for you.
Okay.
For the government, especially the ministries that come and support us and ask us for, for projects on their own facilities. The Minister of Electricity, Dr. Mirza, Iwa in general has been great with us. And we're looking forward to expanding. We hope to enter different markets in the coming future.
Good.
In the coming
That's
days.
great.
And,
That's great. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Stay tuned, dear viewers, as we have more to cover with a special guest in the next segment. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Financial technology, often shortened to fintech, is an emerging industry that uses technology to improve financial activities. The use of smartphones for mobile banking, investing services, and cryptocurrency are examples of technologies aiming to make financial services more accessible to the public. So how popular is the industry in our kingdom? And what do you know about it? Here to answer our questions is Khalid Saad, CEO of Bahrain Fintech Bay. We're happy to have you here, mister. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well and I'm delighted to be with you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We are delighted to have you as well. Sir, so as CEO of Bahrain Fintech, how did it all start?
I actually started my previous role within the Bahrain Economic Development Board, and the idea of Fintech Bay was first conceptualized at the end of January 2017 when there was a wider national vision regarding creating and developing the fintech ecosystem further in this country. And so I was fortunate enough at that time to have been part of the team that was actually looking at exploring the project of developing a fintech hub within the Kingdom of Bahrain.
Right.
And obviously, as the year passed by and the concept firmed up and got eventually signed off by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince of Bahrain, I got involved more and more within that project. After a while, I decided that this was an opportunity not to be missed, and I decided personally to do it full time. So I moved from the Bahrain EDB, which I've spent 8 lovely and fruitful years there, to running Fintech Bay. I'm actually sitting right next to the Economic Development Board because Bahrain Fintech Bay is right next to the EDB in the RCAP.
So you see your colleagues every now and then?
So I see my colleagues pretty much more or less every day. But that's how the process started, and obviously I officially took on this role in January 2018, and I've been in this role officially for nearly 2 years. But the whole project was initially conceptualized nearly 3 years ago.
So can you tell us more about the fintech industry here in Bahrain?
Yes. The fintech industry has, in my opinion, grown tremendously within the Kingdom of Bahrain over the last few years. I think historically, if you look at Bahrain, it's been a financial hub since the 70s. This year we celebrate 100 years of banking. Today, Standard Chartered, obviously with us here for 100 years. So there's a long legacy and track record of financial services. obviously with the changes that are happening globally in financial technology or fintech, post the global financial crisis 2008, there was a need to really develop this industry further and to put a firm plan in place. And so over the last 3 years, a lot of work has happened at an ecosystem level, from a regulatory front, from an institutional adoption front, and from an awareness perspective. And so what we've managed to do was, through the Central Bank of Bahrain, put in place what is now the most robust and comprehensive fintech regulatory framework in the MENA region.
Wow.
And we've got some of the best fintech regulations. For example, if you look at areas such as crypto assets, or also known as cryptocurrencies globally.
Right.
And so what that has resulted in was an increase in the number of fintechs to over 80 now. My personal estimate is that we're going to hit around 100 by the end of the year. And this is probably a 300% increase over what it was a few years ago. And so fintech has really developed. And I think importantly, probably the message to put out is that this is necessary, because financial services is 17% of our GDP.
Right.
It's the second largest contributor to the economy, the largest non-oil and gas sector, and so we need to future-proof it.
Definitely.
And we need to position it to where we want it to be in the future.
I bet. Yes. So, which sector would you say is more involved in the fintech industry? Is it the public sector or the private sector, and how?
I think you'd see a bit of both, actually. And people think, obviously, the name given is called fintech or financial technology, that the applications or the technology can only be used within the financial services sector. But I think it's a very wide term, where you see its applications and technology being deployed both in the public and private sectors, and not necessarily only constrained to financial services. Now, if you look at it from a public perspective, the country has put in place a cloud-first policy.
Right.
And so
AWS, right?
AWS is part of that. There's
that.
a wider initiative by the government to move a lot of the infrastructure to the cloud, because that will give you, obviously, the scalability, security, and obviously will help you move more towards an innovation and digitally driven economy. And so it's been done through a mixture of Azure and AWS, actually. But obviously, with AWS putting their data centers for the region in Bahrain, that's a massive development. Also, on the public side of things, for example, just within the last day, the Coast Guard announced that they will be deploying advanced artificial intelligence to help also secure Bahrain's borders.
Wow.
And the Ministry of Interior, via the Traffic Directorate, is also looking at putting the vehicle registration process on the blockchain. So from a public perspective, there's been a lot of progress. On the private side of things, a lot of financial institutions have now started to invest heavily in fintech-related technologies. We've seen the launch of digital banks, or what are also known as neobanks.
Neobanks.
We've seen applications of artificial intelligence, and obviously now with Bahrain embarking on open banking, the first in the region and one of few countries globally, we will see that there is going to be wider adoption of fintech, where traditional institutions will move to become platform-like moving on in the future.
Right.
Just to finally wrap that up, we've seen, as a result of the action on the government or the public and the private sector side, there are more entrepreneurs, innovators, and fintechs that are setting up in Bahrain, either locally or coming from the region or internationally. And they're bringing in some very new ideas, which the public and private sectors are now receptive to working and collaborating with and adopting.
Amazing. What are Bahrain Fintech Bay proudest achievements?
I think we've launched at the end of February last year. There are quite a few achievements which we're proud of. I think one is we've hosted His Royal Highness the Crown Prince in Bahrain to Fintech Bay, and obviously to showcase what Fintech Bay means to the ecosystem and how is it working with the other key stakeholders in the ecosystem. We've also had the pleasure to host His Royal Highness the Crown Prince of Jordan, amongst many other dignitaries. I think the other thing which we're really proud of was the launch with Tim Keen of the National FinTech Talent Program, which aims to take 50 Bahrainis, either fresh graduates or up to 2 years looking for experience, create meaningful internships in fintech innovation, digitalization for them, train them.
Impressive.
And then also place them internationally, either in Singapore or the United States, and with the aim of creating full-time employment, hopefully, for them, or encouraging them to start their own fintechs. And to date, we've just started the second cohort. Around 20 people actually were employed full time. So that's a great achievement. I think
20 out of how many?
20 out of 25 in the first cohort, and we're looking at hopefully more in the second cohort. I think just to probably wrap things up, we've been recognized by S&P Global Ratings as one of the 2 most advanced fintech ecosystems in the MENA region, and there are a whole other series of I think accomplishments, but these are some of the accomplishments.
Impressive. That's very impressive. And I believe you have some upcoming event by the end of the month.
We're actually hosting the second edition, for us at least, in FinTech Bay of Startup Weekend. We're doing this in strategic partnership with the National Bank of Bahrain, and the idea is that it's a 54-hour hackathon, where this time we wanted to be focused on fintech.
Right.
Last year we hosted a general hackathon, which started on Thursday afternoon and finished on Saturday night, and it resulted in 15 startups being created.
Wow.
And so this year we're actually focused on fintech. We're also hosting along the sidelines of BIPEX, the first property technology hackathon. And our next major event would be an open banking event at the end of February next year. And that's a very big theme that is fundamentally changing the way financial services are being conducted.
Amazing. Well, I believe that's it for the day. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate having you here, and it was a pleasure. You were very informative.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to coming on show at some point in the future. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir. Welcome back. With us here today is cheesemaker Reem to discuss the yummy topic of the vegan cheese. Hi Reem, how are you?
Okay.
I'm so happy to have you because I am lactose intolerant myself. And when I found out that this cheese is vegan, it's lactose free, I was so excited to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So tell us about the process of the vegan cheese. How did it all start? How do you do it?
I was addicted to the cheese since when I was kid.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm not eating egg. Didn't drink milk, so my family always provided cheese.
Okay.
And then I start to read about how the process of this cheese, okay, and how cows go through this process, okay, and it was a shock for me. So once a time I decided to stop.
To stop eating cheese.
Yeah. So I remember my friends said, "You cannot," because I'm really crazy for this cheese. Yeah, really.
Yeah, okay.
This is my food, only food.
That's the only thing you eat. Huh?
Yeah, I like it. I saw a lot of videos and how they took the cow from the mother when.
I understand.
Yeah, it's really.
I understand.
Proud. Yeah. So I thought I should try to make it to myself. I like to cook. So I start.
Okay.
Start 1, 2, 3, and then my friends tried. So one of my friends say you should spread your message and you should spread this cheese because it's very tasty.
It is.
Yeah. You should try.
I'll try in a bit, just right after the show.
And then I'm just make a post on Facebook.
Okay.
And
how long was that?
It was before 1 year.
1 year ago.
Yeah.
And so
yes,
it went viral.
We go
it
fast.
It went viral. Huh?
I don't know how.
Wow.
But I think this is God.
How do you take care of your store now?
We just selling from home, online. We sometimes bought on cafe. I have a lot of cafe take from me. I have a good customers also.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many bulks of cheese or how many platters?
How many products?
Yeah. How many products do you have? How
I
many
have
platters?
27 products.
27 products. Wow.
Dairy free.
Dairy free.
Yes,
and
everything.
how long does it take you to make these cheese?
It depends on everyone.
Everyone is different.
Yeah.
Give or take. Tell us the differences.
In the center, this one take 1 month.
1 whole month.
Oh yes.
Wow. How? Why?
This is common pear, so it's need penicillium.
What is penicillin?
This
Tell
one
us
is
about the
a
process,
kind
please.
of mold. You need you bought it and you should wait until it grow. Yeah, that's it.
What about the other? What about something else? Can you tell us the differences and how long they
sometimes
take?
there is
The name
this
of
one.
this one you're talking about.
Then this is a common pear, and
Common
this
pear.
is same for common pear. There is here brie, and there's. I try to make a version, a vegan version from every cheese.
Every cheese.
Yes.
And, okay, can you tell us the names of the cheeses and the process that you go through?
Common pear, it's like a 1 month. Take 1 month to grow this mold. The other one, chevre, with the herbes de Provence, it's like 5 days to be ready to eat. Yes, because also it's fermented. So I'm fermented cashew first, and then after I take the shape, and then I bought the spices like this. The other is we have here brie. It's also like I can make it brie in 1 hour, but it's need 1 week. The mold to grow after. You see, like this? Yeah.
Interesting.
There's halloumi also.
Halloumi.
Yeah, and you can grill it, by the way.
Wow.
Yes.
And how's the consistency? Does it taste like the cheese?
It's the same.
Really?
Oh yes.
The taste.
It's the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
Bring
can't tell the
anyone. Eat dairy, and I.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yes. There is also parmesan. There is butter. We have yogurt. Everything.
Yogurt.
I have everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your personal favorite?
My favorite?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
Because
don't know.
every
You love
time
cheese,
I make
everything.
yeah, every time I make one, I get excited, but I want to not make another one. It's like this.
Do you
It's
give
a passion.
classes?
It's a passion. Yes.
You do give classes?
No, I'm not. Yeah, sometimes a workshop.
Sometimes workshops,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Do you,
yes.
Like for you to learn, did you have to go to classes back then? Yourself? When you were...
I did one time with a chef already, so we take like 1 hour to make let people know how I make it and how they learn to make it in their home, like this. Yeah.
What do people like the most?
Bestseller, you mean?
Bestseller, yeah.
It depends on taste.
It depends on taste,
Yeah,
huh?
I cannot. Yeah,
Everything looks good.
I will tell you. The European people, they like everything coming with mold, like common pear and peri.
Okay.
Okay. Here, because I'm also try to I know the taste for Arab. You know, every place is here. Every different kind of people, they have a different taste.
Different taste, yes,
So
definitely.
you have to be with everyone.
Definitely, variety.
Yes, yeah,
Right.
yeah. So make a variety of
And your
cheese.
bestseller here in Bahrain, let's say, what would it be?
Cheddar,
Cheddar.
smoky cheese, Monster. They love it. Creamy garlic cheese, but it's not here.
Okay.
Halloumi, of course.
And
they
what's your
love
main
it.
ingredients that you use in the cheese?
Cashew milk,
Cashew milk?
almond milk.
Almond milk.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is the best. I'm soy free. I'm against soy, so I'm
All
soy free.
right. Do you have any cheese tasting events coming up? Do you do that?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do that. Yes.
Do you have any?
Before, like 10 days, we wasn't at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah. Every time there's event, sometimes I went there. Sometimes.
All right.
Because
And-
I have too much orders. They always keep me in my house.
Cool. And how is the business growing day after day?
Yes,
People are getting
alhamdulillah.
more,
Yes.
more. Let's say health conscious. They want to go vegan. I recently watched a documentary on Netflix, and my wife and I are very intrigued. We are actually thinking of turning vegetarian first and then vegan, but not anytime soon. Would you recommend that for me to turn vegan?
Okay.
Not eat meat, no fish.
No.
No, you wouldn't recommend
Yes.
it. Why not?
I prefer to be plant-based.
Plant-based.
Yeah, so like 90% from your food, it's vegetarian and fruits, like maize or anything. But for 100%, I
It's
don't
too
think
much,
so.
huh?
Not
So
too
I
much, but
should-
you should to know how. What I mean, like if you will eat meat, you should to know from where, how they treat it.
Right.
It's ethics more.
That's important. You're
So
right.
I'm actually this is my way how to eat. So I go to
So
the
90%
farm.
is
I go to
plant-based.
the farm. I saw the animals and everything under my control.
Okay.
That's why I
And
will
then you
be.
choose it,
Yes,
and then
I'm eating like monthly. Me and my family.
right.
Monthly, one time. That's
So,
it.
in your opinion, do people need more awareness about
Yes.
animal cruelty and all?
Yes, yes.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
How
yes.
would you go about it? How would you make that awareness happen?
In kind way, actually, because
of
I
course.
don't like the aggressive way for the people who talking about the cruelty.
The
You know?
cruelty
Yes,
of that.
because people eating meat, they will not accept it. Okay, so you have to be nice with them. At least you show them the videos. They will not. They will not believe you until they see. You show them. You should show them.
Right.
Yes.
I'm gonna go back to the cheese subject. So, how do you flavor the cheese?
It's every kind of cheese has another spices, another technique. Every kind is different technique. I have like 7 techniques for every cheese.
7 techniques for every single cheese.
Yeah. I mean, every kind of a cheese technique.
Okay.
We separated like this. The products is different.
Fair
The
enough.
techniques is different.
I guess you don't want to talk too much about it. You just want
No.
people to taste it and then judge,
Yeah.
right? And then be
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. So, what are your upcoming events and products?
Until now, I don't know.
You don't know yet.
No.
Any products? New products?
New products?
Yeah, you have 28. You said, right?
It's enough.
Enough. No more.
No,
You heard, viewers?
No.
No more.
No. Blue cheese. This is in my list now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blue cheese.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, madam, thank you very much. Thank you for
Most
being
welcome.
here with us.
Yeah.
And
I'm so happy to meet you.
my pleasure.
You will be my customer.
Viewers, don't go away. We'll be right back. And that's all for this evening. We thank all the guests who were with us today, and we will see you next time in Bahrain Today. If you would like to be with us on the show or have any suggestions or questions for us, then contact us on our accounts shown on the screen. Goodbye and God bless.